It's been a year for the climate, a year of record highs and record lows. From France's heat wave to the California wildfires, let's jump right in. Here are the top moments in climate for 2019. A polar vortex at the beginning of the year brought some of the lowest temperatures to the United States' Midwest and eastern Canada. Those temperatures left a number of people dead. In March, Cyclone Idai tore through southeastern Africa, countries like Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Malawi. The cyclone killed over 1,000 people and displaced over 600,000 others. It was one of the deadliest storms to ever hit the southern hemisphere. In April, the world became more familiar with Extinction Rebellion, a social and political movement that protests the state of the climate and also the loss of biodiversity. In London, they protested for 11 days straight, blocking thousands of roads, organizing eye-catching demonstrations, and even gluing themselves to London's stock exchange. In May, the United States saw record flooding for parts of the Midwest, culminating in some of the longest-lasting floods in some parts of the Mississippi. In June, France hit a national record high temperature of 45.9 degrees Celsius. That's 113 degrees Fahrenheit, nearly 2 degrees above its previous high. And France wasn't alone. Other countries also hit record high temperatures in June. Belgium, the UK, the Netherlands, even Helsinki. In India too, 90 people died from a heat wave that reached near record highs. Temperatures reached above 120 degrees. While the summer heat wave impacted so many countries, it also impacted Greenland, furthering a massive ice melt in July. In August, for example, 11 billion tons of surface ice melted from Greenland's ice sheet in 24 hours alone. Between 2018 and 2019, scientists estimate that the Greenland ice sheet lost a net total of 329 billion tons. On a different continent, but still in August, Typhoon Lakima ravaged China, leaving more than 40 people dead, billions of dollars in damages, and forcing millions to evacuate. In September, Hurricane Dorian tore through the Bahamas. It's now the most intense tropical cyclone ever to hit the country. In October, the Kincaid Fire in Sonoma County became the largest fire of the year. It burned roughly 80,000 acres, which is twice the size of San Francisco. In November, more fires, this time in Australia, where bushfires have scorched millions of acres across the country, and that has left several people dead, including volunteer firefighters. Those bushfires, which continue today, are further fueled by heat, and in December, Australia saw its hottest day on record. Also in December, Time magazine named their Person of the Year Greta Thunberg. She's the youngest person ever to be recognized. None of these disasters were without protest. More than 1 million students walked out of their classrooms in 120 countries to demand action on climate change. The world both experienced and protested climate change in 2019, so it's unsurprising that climate strike was the word of the year chosen by Collins Dictionary in 2019. And if things don't change soon, we could see more and more years that look like 2019.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.